Yo, what's up, homies? It's your boy today. It's Felix, and today I'm going to be making a beat inside of LMMS. I know you guys have been waiting on it, patiently waiting on it, but here I am, back again. And today we're going to be making a beat that's around 94 BPM. And I'm going to be making a beat like this because I really like the way these kind of faster beats sound. And yeah. So let's hop right into it. Also, before we hop right into it, I want to say that I have a playlist on Spotify and on YouTube and on Soundcloud of songs that I've produced. I've got a new song that came out recently on all platforms. It's really good. You guys should check it out. I'll leave a link in the description.
Know that I'm official. Play with the signs and we put them on a t-shirt. All black, catching bodies like a reaper. She acting crazy and you know that I'm a leader.
And you guys can go check it out for me. That would be much appreciated. And now we can get right into the video. So basically, the first thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using a plugin that's not the Zinad sub effects. So basically, this plugin is called P-Zone Classic. It's a really good free piano plugin, and you got like a bunch of different piano sounds. For whatever reason, it shows up like this, and I don't know why this is, but that's the way it is, and I'm trying to fix it, but I don't know how. As you can plainly see, LMMS still needs some work done on it, but for the most part, you know, this will work. Even though I can't change that plugin sound, so we're just gonna have to go with the default plugin. So basically, yeah, the way you put plugins into LMMS is you download a plugin, whether you buy it or you get it for free, and then you go into wherever you've got your plugins. A lot of mine are in here in this FL Studio 12 plugins and then VST thing, and then you go in here, and then a lot of my plugins are in here. And what you want to do is you want to grab the thing that has this little V on it, and then you just drag it into here, and then that'll bring up your plugin. And also, I remember somebody asking me in the comments about how you, if you have a MIDI controller, how do you link it to your thingy? How do you link it to the whatever? How do you actually use it? And the way you do that is you click on this, and then you go to MIDI, and then you just click which one you're using. So basically, the keyboard that I'm using is this one. So you click on it, see how it has the green check mark next to it, and now I'm going to slam on these keys, and it'll make some noise. That was a C major twice. So yeah, basically, I'm going to be using this plugin here, this good old plugin here, and as usual, we can go in and delete these bad boys. And now what I'm going to do, actually, add that in there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out of this bad boy, and then I'm going to find where my drums are, like in the last video. And what I'm going to try to do in this video is use a bunch of sounds from my drum kit that I made myself. I'm going to use this, and then I'm going to use this bad boy, and then I'm going to use this, and then I'm going to use possibly that one, and then I'm going to use this, and then finally I'm going to use a clap that's not mine, but it's like the most popular clap on the planet of Earth, and it's this one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to organize these. I'm going to put the snare in the clap, the two hi-hats at the bottom, and then the kicks and the 808 right there. So now we have our setup, and what I'm probably going to do after is I'm going to add some Zinad sub effects thingies in here. So yeah, also I know you guys were telling me to switch to the new thing, the new LMMS thing, the like RC7 or whatever, but however, I did it before, and I messed around with it for a little while, but then I just checked my computer, and it's just literally not there. So I don't really know what to tell you. But yeah, anyways, so the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to open a piano roll, and I'm actually going to close out of this, and the thing I'm going to start with is the chord progression. So what I'm going to do, what I plan on doing, is I'm going to make the chord progression in only the white keys, and then I'm going to transpose it. And transpose basically just means when you move like the entire melody up a certain amount of notes. So I'm going to mess around with some keys. I'm going to tickle the ivories real quick, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, homies, what's poppin'? I'm back. So I came up with this little melody. I think you guys are gonna like it. It's pretty good. I'm pretty proud of it myself. It goes like this. It's pretty simple. It's just 2 bars, but 2 bars is like actually 4 bars when you're producing in like half speed or whatever it is. I still don't even get it myself. But basically just ignore that because it's kind of complicated. So what I did was, first of all, I made these chords here, and everything's in the white notes, by the way. And then I added these on the bottom, and these are just the same notes here, but an octave lower, and an octave is the same note, but just 8 higher or 8 lower. As you can see, this is a D, and then this is also a D, and this is a D because it's right next to the C, and then this is a C because it's on the C. And then while I did that, I also did these little notes on the top, which is like the little top melody, and that just adds like a little bit of a higher, like bounce to it. And then this thing is just like a little, a little finesse, a little pizzazz, a little spicy. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this, and I'm going to, and anywhere you move this, it's going to sound good. That's like the cool thing about transposing melodies, is that you can literally put it anywhere and it's going to sound good. So I'm going to put it there, and it's going to sound like this. So I think that sounds pretty epic. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close out of this. Now we got this bad boy, and now it is time to make the beats. So what I'm going to do, if you remember from my last video, this right here is all 1 bar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this, and now it's 2. But here's where the thing that I was saying earlier comes into play. You know how it was like when you're producing in like halftime, it's actually 2 bars is actually 4 bars? What you're going to do instead of the way we usually do it is you're going to put the clap here. And you might remember this from my old school hip hop video. This is the same way that you do it, I think, as the same way I made that video. And so the claps are going to go here, and we can adjust the volumes as we go. And now what you're going to do with the hi-hats is you're going to fill in every single one. Usually we fill in every other one, even in the old school when we fill in every other one. But this is going to be a trap beat. So we're not going to fill in every other one, we're going to fill in every one. So now what it's going to sound like is like this. So yeah, I think it sounds pretty sick so far. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place this hi-hat here. Actually, I think I'm going to place it here and here, and then here and here. And then I'm going to turn it way down because it's pretty loud. Okay, so that sounds pretty epic. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to place these here and see how it sounds. But I might get rid of this because I don't know. I think that sounds okay. I might swap it out for another sound later, but for now it's alright. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the kicks in, and I'm going to put it here and here. And then like that. And then one here, and then here. I'm gonna do it like that. And then maybe like this. I think that sounds alright. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these both down a little bit because they're kind of loud. Okay, that sounds good so far. I'm liking the way that's sounding. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to copy this bottom part. And this is real nice because also Control C is how you copy. And then we're going to X out of this, go in here, and then Control V. And this is real nice that we have the bass notes because this makes it way easier for doing the 808. Also, if you want to move things up an octave, you hold down Control and then just press up. So now we have this, but what we kind of want to have is this pattern. So I'm going to go to copy. Actually, no, I'm not going to go to copy. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go Control C again. Actually, select them all and then Control C. And then go back up in this bad boy and then do Control V. And now you have where the things are going to be. So you can use this as a reference to where your 808 should stop and go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to okay, so I finished that now. Now we can get rid of this bad boy here. You can go just delete and then get rid of that. What I'm going to do with these last three is I'm going to do Control and then up. And now these are going to be up like another octave. So and so here's the thing that you run into when you're transposing melodies, is that sometimes your 808 is going to be like too high. Like for example, if this were to be up here, it's kind of too high. Like it's not as bassy as I would want it to be. So when this happens, what we're going to need to do is we're going to transpose this as well. So you're going to hit Shift and then click it down. And then I'm going to go to C sharp. This is C sharp right here. The black note is C sharp. And so now that we have this, our piano is in a different key now. So we want to change the piano to the same key. So the way you do that is, you know how I said that note was C sharp, the one that it started on? We're going to take this good old bad boy and start it on C sharp as well. So, and you can even depending on how that sounds, you can do that as well. And what I'm going to do, actually, what I do a lot of times, is I'm going to lower the velocity of these bass notes. So I'm going to bring them right on down to around like 60. This one's in here. I'm not going to do this one, actually, though. I don't know why I had that selected. So now these bass notes aren't as powerful, but they still add a little bit of bassiness up in there. So now we have this. That sounds really wrong for some reason. Hold on. Okay, so I just ran into like a major problem, alright? So what happened was, basically, is that this right here up in here, 808, it was tuned to a different note. So this is quite an issue, because, so if this 808 sample is a C, it's just going to play like every note that you play correctly. But however, if it's tuned to anything else, it's going to play different notes. So this makes it really complicated when you are trying to put it with a melody, because as you can see now, this starts on a D sharp, but this right up in here starts on a C. But however, when we solo them, click here and then here, it sounds good. So it's really kind of strange how that works, but basically what you have to do, and what I did, was I went in here and then I pitched this up an octave, and you can even do it another one, and I played these together, and I just went in here basically and I changed the note to find which one sounded good. And then I just moved it around to find where it sounded good, because certain notes are going to sound really weird and not good. And so eventually C was where it sounded good. So yeah, that's not fun, but sometimes you got to do it in order for your stuff to sound good. So yeah, remember when you're done doing that to pitch this back down so it doesn't sound all weird and super high pitched. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually change this snare. That was a firework. I'm going to change this snare sound up in here because I don't really like it too much. I'm going to change it to this one. And I don't know if you can, no, you can't actually drag it in, so what you need to do is you need to go to copy and then paste and then just delete this. I wish they would stop shooting off fireworks, bro. And then you go to reset name, and now what you have is this bad boy right here. And so now this snare, in my opinion, I think is gonna sound better. And so now what I'm gonna do actually is I'm going to find our good old pal Zinad Sub Effects, and I'm gonna find a good pad. I think this one sounds alright, so I'm gonna add this in here, put this next to the keys, and now I'm going to copy and then simply, whoops, not do that. I'm gonna paste it right in there. And so I'm actually gonna go in here and we're gonna see how that sounds, because what I was gonna do is delete all these top notes, but I'm gonna see how it sounds just like this. I actually don't like how that sounds. It sounds like kind of muddy, so I'm actually gonna just get rid of these after all. And the way you can erase really quickly, like I'm doing, is just holding down on right click and just dragging your mouse over. So that sounds good. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this space guitar, pull it in here, and now I'm going to add another melody. Copy, paste. I'm gonna get rid of these. And so now, here's how this sounds. And so now that I've added this little counter melody, here's how it sounds. So yeah, I think that sounds good. You can barely even notice it, but it just adds a little bit of thickness to the melody. So, now we're basically done, pretty much. The final beat sounds like this. So yeah, I think it sounds pretty epic. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And so now remember, what we gotta do for this is go to copy, create a new bass line, paste this in here, and then go back into here, and then clear all notes. And I showed how to do this in my last tutorial video, my updated how to make a trap beat video, and I did that in there. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay homies, here I am back again. What I did was I separated all of these out, and then I also changed the name, and the way you do that is you just right click and then you go to piano. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to lay out this beat just a little bit, and then we're gonna be basically done. Okay, so basically now we're done with the beat. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And for all you more advanced folks out there, yes, I know the beat is clipping, okay? A lot of it is just the program. LMMS is not the best, as you've seen, it's not the best program, but for a free program, it's pretty darn Gucci. Some things you can do, if you know how to do it, is you can EQ out some of the low end of the piano, or the pad, or whatever instruments you have, and that'll kind of eliminate some of that clashing with the 808. Honestly, in LMMS, I have no idea or even know if you can sidechain, but in FL Studio sometimes I'll sidechain this kick to this 808, and then it'll kind of get rid of that, some of that, you know, the muddiness a little bit. But also you can just turn down like all your sounds too. So yeah, that's just a little side note for all you more advanced people out there that want some advice on how to make it not sound as muddy, but I don't think it's that bad. But anyways, thank you for joining me today. I hope you were able to learn something or perhaps make some fire beats. My Instagram and SoundCloud and then like a playlist of all the songs I produced are down in the description below, so go check those out if you wish. And so yeah, I'll see you guys next time.